tasked with assembling an elite team to travel through time. All your worlds are about to change.
Hey guys, Nick here and welcome back to another Legend of Tomorrow episode review. My thoughts on tonight's episode of Legend of Tomorrow titled Left Behind. You know what, this show, I mean, it's nice to be back from its break and all, but this show, honestly, it was, the first couple of episodes I thought were really fantastic. I liked the first two parts of the pilot. But honestly, it really started to let me down a lot when they did the whole Russia thing, and that was a 2-arc episode thing. And then, I don't know, I just feel like, and then I've liked a handful of episodes so far, but this show has been really, like, I've been on the fence about it, just because, like, it's really, it didn't live up to the hype for me. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just, there wasn't a whole lot at the time to really keep me interested in the show week after week after week. And especially when they had an episode that was just okay, and then they left for, like a 1-month break. And then they come back from the break, and honestly, this was one of, I would say, the top, 4 episodes of the season so far. I mean, out of the 9 episodes they've had so far, I mean, for me, it's the first 2 parts of the pilot, Star City 24/6, and then there's this episode Left Behind. Just because it felt like it was Legend of Tomorrow again. It felt like, there's a mission, they went ahead and they did it, they got it taken care of, there were high stakes, it drove the story forward, and it was dealing with a lot of stuff, and it felt like what the show should be. And one of to get in what actually I really liked about this episode was honestly, of course, besides all the Easter eggs and stuff, when we see a young Talia al Ghul, we find out that she's way, way, way older than we ever thought she was going to be, considering they didn't even show her in Arrow when they did the whole League of Assassins thing. So we got to see her. And I think one of the better things about this episode, we finally get to see the effects of time travel in this show, when the Wave Rider gets, marooned in the time stream because of Kronos, and then we ultimately find out that Kronos is actually Heatwave, it's Mick Rory, and seeing that, the team was left behind for 2 years, and seeing that 2 years really affected Ray, Kendra, and Sara, and seeing how their lives changed and how they changed. And at first, because I've been on the fence about the whole Ray and Kendra relationship, I really don't care for it. But I mean, by the end of the episode, when she was saying how she, for the first time in a long time, she felt like she got to choose the person she loves, and I like that side of it. I mean, I understand where Kendra as a character is coming from, when she doesn't necessarily want to always fall for Carter, and she wants to have the ability to choose who she loves, and she falls for Ray. I mean, I don't like that she fell for Ray in particular, but I understand where she's coming from, where she still wants to choose, and I understand that side of it. But I still don't care for their relationship as a whole, just because I feel like that just complicates things, especially since they're on a team together, and when they break up, more than likely they're going to break up. That's just going to complicate things even more, and I just don't want to deal with that. But anyways, besides that, what else? Again, like I briefly mentioned earlier, finding out that Mick Rory is actually Kronos, that was actually one of the bigger twists of the season so far, because Kronos has been on their tail for pretty much all season. And then, after when we thought that Mick, when we thought that Mick was killed by Snart, it's oh well, I guess that's it. I guess that's the end of that character. And for me at the time, it was a bit of a letdown, because the Dominic Parcell, the actor who plays Heatwave, I really like him in this show, because I love his relationship with Leonard Snart, with Wentworth Miller, because they have that history together from being on Prison Break. And Snart is my second favorite character in the show. It's Sara and then Snart. Those are just my top 2 favorite characters. And just seeing how deep their relationship is, and how deep, seeing how full of hate that Mick really is, and seeing how far he's willing to go just to kill his former teammates. And I guess we'll see now that they capture him at the end of the episode after they defeat him in Nanda Parbot. And that's another thing I gotta mention too before I forget. In 3rd season of Arrow, when they had Ra's al Ghul as a villain, by the end of the season, I really thought it was a mistake to have him as a villain in the show, because he's a Batman villain, and you're bringing him in a Green Arrow show. A Green Arrow show that's already been heavily compared to Batman himself. There's a Batman ripoff. I didn't care for it by the end of that season, but you know what? I liked having him in this episode, and having Sara go back in time to be a part of the League of Assassins again, and ultimately her doing that is what's going to lead her to become a member of the League of Assassins. You know, in the more current timeline, so it's gonna be her younger self when she eventually goes. She's planting the seeds to have that happen. And you can see there's obviously, like, it was subtle, but there's still feelings for Nissa there that I really wish they would bring up more, because it seemed like, oh, she's over it, I guess. Like, I guess that's the end of that relationship. And I really like their relationship. I like seeing Nissa, but that's besides the point, because that's a different show, really. But seeing Ra's al Ghul back, and seeing League of Assassins back, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I don't necessarily care for them as a plot point, but I did like the use of them in this episode. Let's see what else. And also, I think one of the most badass things about this episode was when Snart, like, froze, when Mick had him held up in his ship, and he was pretty much handcuffed to that railing, and Snart, like, managed to get his gun and literally freeze his hand and shatter his hand just to escape. It's like, damn, like, this dude is really willing to go, like, the mile just to get out of there. I mean, luckily we end up finding out that, like, the ship has the technology to fix his hand and grow his hand back. But still, even then, it's like, wow, like, Snart's, like, he's willing to do what it takes to get out of there. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. And seeing his hand shattering, how much pain he's in, I thought that was a cool thing in the episode. And like I said, seeing the team fight together again, and my last bit when they're all fighting Mick as Kronos, I thought that was really cool. And you know what? And even though this episode didn't further the story of the whole Vandal Savage thing, again, I thought it was a really, really great episode. It was a nice episode to come back to, especially because I've been, like, on and off about this show for the last number of episodes, just because, like, they're more boring episodes. Not necessarily boring, just more, like, okay episodes compared to great episodes. Like, they're like 4 out of the 9 episodes I've enjoyed, and that's not it's less than half. I mean, it's not necessarily an even number, but still, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to be let down by the show anymore, and hopefully the season starts picking up. So honestly, other than the whole Ray and Kendra thing, I really didn't have any problems with tonight's episode. So with that being said, I think that's going to be it for me. So if you guys like what you see here, go ahead and hit subscribe below. I review Supergirl on Mondays, Flash on Tuesdays, Arrow on Wednesdays, and Legends of Tomorrow clearly on Thursdays. And I just reviewed Batman vs. Superman last week. If you guys want to check that out on my channel, I have a spoiler and non-spoiler review. I have a bunch of other reviews all up on my channel and other videos as well. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? Let me know. And again, let me know in the comment section. So again, that's going to be it for me. So until next time, guys, have a good one.